So our next comedian, I'm super duper so excited. I've actually known this comedian for a really long time. They're one of the funniest people I've truly ever met, and that is hand to the Lord, I swear. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to have Nick Altishin on our show. Come on. And they had a problem with his baggy clothes. He was a skater boy. She said, "See you later, boy." He wasn't good enough for her.
Who knew I had time to use the bathroom after all? That song just kept going. Wow. No, I'm not dressed super emo. If I wore all black clothes, I'd look like a techie in a high school theater department. That's just the energy I give off. It's unbearable, ask my parents. Thank you for coming out to Queer AF, Queer as Fuck. That's super exciting. Even though literally everyone tonight has been bisexual. I just feel super normie right now. Being gay is just norm culture now. It's disappointing. I thought I was a special kid. But that's okay because this microphone doesn't feel that small. I wouldn't even need lube, just spit. Anyway. Even though it is like a heavily queer show, are there any straight people here tonight? I'm just curious. Don't be scared. No. Thank you. Oh my God. Yes. Give it up for the straight person. Yeah. Happy Toyota-thon, by the way. No, I don't know your culture, but I'm an ally, so. No, actually what I love most about straight people is they always ask me why I'm single, but they mean it as a compliment. Straight women are always like, "Oh my God, you're so handsome. How are you single?" And that's because, I don't know if you know this guy, straight people have never seen an attractive person before. They just don't know what they look like. To give some context, I'm hot to straight people, but I'm only funny to gay people. Yeah, it's rough. Straight girls are like, "Oh my God, you have long eyelashes and big arms," and gay guys are like, "You're a hoot." And I'm like, "Wow, I'm also naked, but thank you for the immediate feedback." This is going great. No, I know the show is called Queer AF, but I have something to admit. I'm not just queer, I'm not just gay. I'm also a faggot. I know that's a rough word. There was a little pause there. No one knew how to feel. It's a really rough word. There's a lot of hatred and trauma associated with that word. Counterpoint. It's also the most efficient way to describe me. I know you're wondering, why do you call yourself that? It's once you put on a harness and a jockstrap and just pretend you're dressed as Pikachu for Halloween. Meanwhile, the guy you're talking to is also wearing a harness and a jockstrap, but he's Christine Baranski from The Gilded Age on HBO. It just becomes required, Once you spend a 3-day weekend in Las Vegas at a queer kickball tournament, getting railed by 3 guys in the hotel room on ketamine, and you only learned 2 of their names. It's just you have to start referring to yourself as a faggot legally, The second you enter that contact in your phone, just saying, "Guy who fingered me on the dance floor November 12th, ... Kyle? ? The DMV just shows up at your house and changes your driver's license for you. Just name, Nick, identity, faggot. Expiration date, 27 years old. I'm 33. No, but I will say something's really difficult. It's really confusing, reclaiming that word, Because on one hand, you're it's a joyous revolution. I'm taking the power back from it. And on the other hand, nowadays when I'm confronted with actual hatred and homophobia, I just get kind of horny. Like, the other day I was in the Safeway parking lot, and a guy came up to me, you know, camo shorts, gray tank top, we all get who this is. And he was like, hey, you're a little faggot. And I was like, oh my God. Are we gonna fuck? Love wins, you know, just. So I do want to talk about some current events. Are we current events type people? Great. It's not your journey, it's my journey. Who remembers Senate Twink? I know, what an icon. So for anyone who has forgotten the news cycle from 3 months ago, Senate Twink is a 24-year-old who had their sex tape leaked from getting railed in the hearing room of the Senate building in Washington, D.C. And I know the most important question that comes up for you. Was he working for a Democrat or Republican? 'Cause that means two different things, right? On one hand, it's like you're a self-hating fuck, and on the other hand, it's like, it's kind of badass, you know? Like, wow, take it back. And I said leaked in quotation marks because he did just post it to his Instagram and then get confused why he was fired. I've been thinking about this a lot lately because people are like, Nick, you have naked photos of yourself online. A ton of them, just like they're everywhere. And they're like, what happens if you like get into doing stand-up and you do it more? And people are like, find the fact that you have naked photos of you. It's like, well, if anyone comes up to me and says, hey, I saw a picture of your ass on Twitter, my main response would be, you're welcome. I have a really nice ass. It was a really good picture. That's why I shared it with the world to never take back. You know what you're never gonna find of me online? An unflattering photo. No, I curate that shit. Now, I do want to say the news came back, an investigation committee went forth, Senate Twink, no one knows his name. And it's not important. They found that he didn't commit any crimes because love wins, you know? So I went to, has anyone been to Barry's boot camp? Thank you. Don't go. That's the thesis of my statement tonight. Don't go to Barry's boot camp. It is a class-based fitness cult that is basically like if Orange Theory were allowed to use the F slur. It's like if CrossFit listened to Wicked in the shower, you know? Just like by gay people, for gay people. And you can tell it's gay, a gay space, a number of ways. One, on the outside, it is decorated like an Apple store. And on the inside, it is decorated like a German sex dungeon. Two, it is just staffed with people named Ace. Or Gavin. Or the occasional lesbian Lori. She spells it with an I. Three, the cafe, all of their smoothies are dairy-free, so it's bottom-friendly. And delicious. And number four, if you're ever wondering, like, is this a gay space? Just ask yourself, look around, because Barry's boot camp is just filled with excited white women. With the occasional boyfriend or husband trying to be supportive but looking real scared. Can someone ask me what a German sex dungeon looks like? Oh my God, thank you. I've been meaning to tell people about this. So, imagine a dimly lit spa mixed with a laser tag facility. Just like everything's black, obstacles everywhere, red lighting. Gavin is on the microphone because pop techno music is blaring at you, and he's screaming to just give you 1 more half mile per hour. And it's like, babe, Gavin, you're standing 10 feet away. Just turn down the music and talk, you know? Use your I statements. Anyway, fucked Gavin. In my defense, it was 1:30 in the morning, and he texted, "Hey, cutie, you up?" And love wins, you know? So I do want to mention one last thing before I go. It's a big time in this world because I'm sure you all know the Barbie movie came out last summer. And that's exciting because it's a whole generation's gay awakening, right? Like, we had the Scooby-Doo movie, and they have the Barbie movie. But if I had to think about it, I would say my gay awakening was the fact that I was raised Catholic and Jesus is hot. All versions of Jesus are hot, by the way. Ken doll Jesus, surfer Jesus, historically accurate black Jesus, all fuckable. I do have to admit that it's confusing because when you grow up having a crush on Jesus Christ, it teaches you how to fall for manipulative men. Yeah. Have you celebrated Easter? That's a real fuckboy holiday. Like, I don't think it counts if he came back. 3 days in a cave, that's not a sacrifice, that's a staycation. I would kill for that time off. You know, also, he knew he was coming back. It's like a guy texting you, "Hey, cutie, you up?" at 1:30 in the morning, and you just racing off to his house. But still, there I am in church, 11, 12 years old. Jesus is up on the cross, crown of thorns, holes in his hands, huge pecs, and just those cum gutter abs. And I'm like, oh my God, he did that for me. Thank you, everyone.
Live the world dream, long live the king, yo. I'm from the Empire State.
Give it up one more time for Nick Altishin, everyone. And then you can see them tomorrow at Exquisite Nonsense at Funhouse Lounge.